Ariel Levy is a tremendous talent, working his way at champion of Coastal Championship Wrestling, CCW, one of the longest independent wrestling promotions, not just in Florida, probably the longest in Florida, but in the nation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's how big. That's how big CCW has been, Ariel. It's not just Florida.
I knew it was in Florida. In Florida, it was the oldest.
It's the oldest, and it's one of the oldest when you look at the whole spectrum of the country. It's got to be in the top 10 of that. So it really established stuff. You're a big part of it now, but Ariel, your work in the ring has been tremendous. But I have to say, learning about your background in Chile, actor, singer, songwriter, there are so many elements of you, and now you've incorporated that in your pro wrestling. Well, what has that transition to pro wrestling been like?
Well, for me, like, that's why I love pro wrestling, because it's a mixture of a lot of my passions, you know. So it's like, for me, wrestling is it's a mix between a rock concert and a great theatrical play, you know. So me being an actor and a musician and a wrestling fan, it made sense to transition into this world, because I love the. Of course, I grew up watching the WWE, so they do a great job mixing those worlds. You know, they always bring, like, when I was growing up, I was a heavy metal fan. I mean, I still am, but I was very into that music, and they were always bringing acts like Limp Bizkit, and of course Motorhead playing
Triple H
out to the ring, and so it was it always came natural to me to mix all those worlds. And when I had the chance to, well, of course I had a band in Chile that broke up, like, I like to say 6 years ago. We broke up 6 years ago.
What was the name of the band?
The band is called Don Nadie, which in Spanish means Mr. Nobody. Okay? and the song is called Victoria, which means victory. And it's a really catchy song, and it has a really catchy
beat to it, a beat rhythm.
Yes, a beat, and it's really, and the lyrics of the chorus are na 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 na, so anyone can sing it. So it made sense when back a couple years when I was working in Chile, when I started as a bad guy, as a heel. And when I turned face, when I became a good guy, I used that song because it made complete sense for me to use it. First, I don't have to pay royalties because it's my song, and the other thing is that it's cool to use your. I mean, it's like my heroes sing their own songs. Like Shawn Michaels is one of my heroes, of course, and he sings his own song, so, even though he's mostly like talking over.
He's more talking, but still, he's involved in the
singer.
song. You're actually singing and writing the song, but I understand what you mean, because he was involved in the song and part of the lyrics.
And of course, another one who's one of my greatest all-time heroes is Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Judas.
And he uses his song, and he got everyone singing his song, and I feel very reflected on Chris's story, because he's a man that likes to wear a lot of hats too. Like he's done acting, he has done Dancing with the Stars. I did Dancing with the Stars in Chile.
That's amazing.
He has his own band,
rock band,
my own band, and he's of course an amazing legend of the professional wrestling business. So
many parallels.
That's why I use the code breaker.
Yes.
That's my finisher.
The code breaker is your finisher, which is awesome, and just so many parallels between you and Jericho. I didn't think of that.
And so this is the thing. So I did this movie called The Green Inferno, directed by Eli Roth, that you can check out on. I think it's on Disney Plus now, and Netflix. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix, but you can check it out. It's called The Green Inferno. And Eli Roth is the director of the film, and him and Jericho are really good friends. And when I find out that, I told Eli, like, are you kidding me? Like, the Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll, the first ever undisputed WWE champion, WWF, and he was like, yeah, that guy. and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to meet him or to like have an interaction with him, and he started following me on social media, and I was like, it blew my mind. And then I started talking to him on DMs, and he was very cool. And then when I started, I had an injury, so I couldn't work. And when I came back, I asked him if I can start using the code breaker. So he gave me his blessing. So it's not like me just because I love Chris Jericho's career, I use his move. I asked him for permission and I got it. So I have his blessing to use it. And that's really cool. I could have just used it, but I wanted to ask him.
Out of respect.
Yes. And then I worked a couple of episodes of AEW Dark, so I get to meet him in person. We finally got to meet in person. He was a very cool guy. I don't have enough good words to say about him. I mean, I thought he was one of the GOATs before, but then when I met him in person, he's definitely one of the best of all time. So yeah, I feel part, like an honorary member of the Jericho Appreciation Society. So yeah. And,
well, we've got to get the Ariel Levy Appreciation Society.
we'll get it soon. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have a lot of. I've made myself a lot of fans here, and I mean, probably because of my recent actions in the ring. Probably now I lost some fans here, but
even so, I wanted to talk not about that. I want to talk about that entrance.
Oh yeah.
Because you came out and they had the song playing.
Yeah.
And you had the guitarist there playing guitar live, and the crowd went nuts. And
it was definitely like a bucket list moment, you know, especially because it's my own song. And as I was saying, like I grew up watching the great WrestleMania moments when Motorhead played Triple H to the ring, when Limp Bizkit played Undertaker to the ring, or even WrestleMania 29. I remember Living Color played for CM Punk's entrance. So I was like, well, it'd be so cool to have that one day, especially because it's my own song. So yeah, so we met this. We have a really cool relationship with this band called Angel Riot. They are a local band from South Florida, and they are huge wrestling fans. So they were coming to all of our shows, and one day they came to me and were like, dude, that song is great. Like, where is it from? I'm like, oh, I sing it. And they were like, what? It blew their minds, and I showed them, yeah, look, I got it on YouTube and sent it to them, and they were like, brother, it'll be so cool if we can play your stuff to the ring, blah, 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 blah. And we waited until it made sense, and of course it made sense to do it like for our last match.
Yes.
Our last defense.
Yeah, before the evilness, the turn.
It was
but
cool
yes,
because of course, like I'm an actor, so I'm all about drama, and it's cool to take the people up to then bring them down. And that's what we did. Like we were the uber heroes coming out to this song live, blah 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 blah, and then I become the meanest bad guy and the worst of the worst after betraying my good friend and brother Vinicius. So it only made sense, you know. We gave him the up, and then we took them to hell. So that was a really great night of. I think it's the best night in my wrestling career by far, because we had everything. We had a crazy ladder match too. That I got
main event. Crowd going nuts.
I bled. I jump up ladders. I took stupid bumps on tables. We had one of the best matches, I think, in the bash. I don't want to say CCW's history because it's a long history, but at least. Since I got here, I think it's one of the greatest match in the last year and a half that I've been there, and it's crazy because that show, the Bash of the Brew, it's only growing and growing. Like the month before our ladder match, we had the Kylan King versus Marina Tucker in a cage match, and that was awesome too. The first time the women's title main evented and was defended in a cage match, and that was huge. And it was and the girls delivered great. We had like when Cha Cha Charlie won the belt back in I think I'm not sure it was December or November, it was a great moment too. So I think we have to top ourselves from bash to bash. You've been there, you know what I'm talking about. So if you're watching this and you don't know what I'm talking about, like, come check us out. We're every first Saturday of the month. We're at the Umbrella Brewery Company in Hialeah. Bash at the Brew, CCW presents Bash at the Brew, and you never know what's gonna happen. I think July we're having QT Marshall back. He's gonna have a seminar too for wrestlers, so he's coming back. So if you're a wrestler and you're watching this, definitely check it out and sign up, because he's great. I've done his seminar before and he's great. The knowledge he shares is great. Of course, talking about QT Marshall, he works backstage on AW. He runs the Nightmare Factory with Cody Rhodes in Georgia. So yeah, we have, of course, Gangrel showing up too, the one and only Vampire Warrior who runs our training facility here in Pompano Beach. So yeah, amazing. That's why I stayed here. I'm not coming back to Chile anytime soon, because I love this company. When I got here, they were running shows every 2 or 3 months, and now we're running shows almost every week. And
sometimes double shots too, twice in the weekend.
Yes,
sometimes
from Central Florida all the way to
Homestead. And Nashville.
And now we're gonna start running also in Kissimmee. So we're getting, I don't know where. Maybe we're gonna get to Canada. I don't know.
Or maybe to Chile.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. No. Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, CCW stands for Chilean Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
I always joke about that because I brought so many of my, like, S2S, our
Ariel Martinez.
Alan Martinez,
yes,
who's our
S2S.
cruiserweight champ, is a great wrestler. He had an amazing match with Fuego del Sol a couple months ago. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, Live Wrestling. And he had a great match with him. I hooked him up, like, he was like, hey, how's the scene there? I'm like, brother, you need to come. He came, and now he's a cruiserweight champion.
He's doing so well. It's just really good to see him.
We had Roma here too, who's a female wrestler, and she's from Chile too, and she was. So yeah, we have a lot of. I've been helping a lot to bring the best from Chile here, and it's a really cool exchange we're having. So it'll be amazing to have at least our top guys come to Chile and run maybe a joint show with a company there. That I would love that. I would love to have that, and I would love to bring, maybe I would also love to bring Dave Gangrel to Chile, so he can share his knowledge, because a lot of now we have a kid from Chile too who came just to train. It's called Chris Vector, that's his worker name, and he's learning a lot with Gangrel. So I would love to take Gangrel to Chile so he can work with the guys there, because I think we have a lot of potential there, but of course there's some stuff we're lacking off, because we don't have the history in this business that the Americans have, or the Mexicans or Japanese, you know.
Of course, and that lends itself to the training.
So yeah, so I feel like an ambassador, you know, for the Chilean wrestling scene. So that's why when a Chilean guy wants to come and train in the US to get better, I try to help them. So and it's been very, very cool doing that for them. And I would love, now the borders are more open after the pandemic, you know, it's going to be easier to maybe to go there and put on a cool show like the ones we have in Hialeah.
And those shows in Hialeah are tremendous. Bash of the Brew 16, as you mentioned, just ended. That was an amazing night. Your ladder match, you and Vinicius with the great Bill Alfonso, Fonzie, managing you all, against DRA and Johnny Nova for the CCW Tag Team titles. Elevated status, thank you.
And new Tag Team Champions.
New Tag Team Champs.
Yeah,
but
we
it was
lost it after almost a year and a half.
But it was just, that night itself just was so amazing. Yeah. Like you said, the ups and downs. And that's what I wanted to ask you, because there's many moments. But I remember after the match, and you are in the ring, and nothing's gone down yet. But you're sitting there, blood coming down your face, and you're just eyes wide open, like in a blank stare, almost like, did we just lose? What really happened? But the acting part of it, the theatrical part of it, right there, I thought, oh, this is I love it. The turning was great, because that's the crowd, but that moment right there, and Fonzie sort of looking at you from behind, just like, almost like I got to go over and console him a little bit or whatever. Yeah, I know, but you're just like that stoic and that the theatrical background, the performance, is so important.
Oh,
so important.
Yeah. I would encourage every pro wrestler to take acting classes. Just like I already went. Of course, I took drama.
As a child too, right? You were a child actor.
No, I started acting like when I was 19.
Oh,
so
19. No, you were older then. You were older. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would encourage that because it's so important, especially now that we have like everything state. So it's not like maybe like 30, 40 years ago you didn't have like cameras like that can capture your face and your expressions, your emotions. You know, now everyone has a camera, so you need to be able to express emotions with your face. You know, it's and every veteran will tell you like it's more important to show emotions, to connect emotionally with the crowd than to do a very cool flip move, blah blah blah, and make them pop or make them cheer or make it, because that's like sugar, you know, it's like that. But emotions, real expressions that people can be like can feel connected with you and love you or hate you or laugh with you or cry with you, whatever. I think that lasts longer, and it makes people remember you when they leave the arena, because maybe they're gonna remember a crazy spot, but they're not gonna remember who you are, your name, your face, your character. But if you connect with them in an emotional level, they're definitely gonna remember you. You know, I mean, that's why I think Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the best, because he was like trash talking since he was out. Blah, 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 blah. He was angry. You connected with that anger. I mean, how could you not connect with that guy? I was 13 and I hated my teachers or the director,
boss figures. Exactly.
Yeah, of course, I hated them. So he was so mad at the authority, and I was like, yeah, I feel related to that guy. Of course I'm gonna root for him. Yes, flip the bird to them, give them a stunner, beat them up, you know. And of course I connected with that. I don't remember any I remember stunners, you know, the stunner to The Rock or stunners to Vince McMahon. But what really connected myself with him is that the amount of anger he had and how related I felt with that. You know, how connected I felt.
It's interesting because we see that in Coastal Championship Wrestling and their shows, which is awesome. And you mentioned that you could watch matches, CCW Live, and there are various places you could watch the great matches that they have, and the commentaries on there too. Now, I'm going to end it with this. I'm transitioning because we're here for Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, which is its debut, which CCW is helping BRCW with their debut show and all. What do you expect? There's so many big names, so many great names on the show, a lot of good talent, a lot of good CCW talent on the show. What are your thoughts of the show?
Well, it's great to have this joint show, based technically. It's great to have these former NXT people, or Josh Woods that's with Ring of Honor. We have, of course, we have Dave Gangrel, who's part of the boss, but I'm not going to tell you the legend he is. So yeah, it's amazing to share the locker room with new talented people, and to have the opportunity to interact with them, and of course that gives you a lot of experience. You can learn a lot about that, and we have people that especially when you share the locker room with people that was working for the big time, you know, working in the big leagues, and learning from them, because that if they share that knowledge, you can of course grow as a performer or as a professional wrestler, sports entertainer.
Well, Ariel, thank you so much. It's always awesome watching you compete. It's always a lot of fun with that and all. Do you have any social media you want to share with the fans?
All my social media is Ariel_Levy, or Levy, Ariel AREIEL, and _LEVY. You can find me like that on Twitter and Instagram. So check it out. It's a lot of spam from CCW. That's what you're gonna get.
But in a good way.
Oh no! Of course, like, I need
It's
to.
good
I need
spam.
to put over my company. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Pro wrestler, actor, singer, songwriter.
Yes.
Am I missing anything?
No.
That's everything.
Yeah.
And we'll
I
see what the next
call
chapter.
myself a dancer, although I
Yes. Well, right now we have to leave the dance in the Cha-Cha Charlie anyway.
Yeah, let him dance. Yeah, that's his gimmick.
Thank you, Ariel Levy.
Thank you, sir.